We are live, ladies. I am LaSharday Scott. I'm the president and CEO of Scott Center for Observation, Treatment, and Transition. And our mission is to continue to build the community in face of health and equities, impacting communities of color. This June, we have been highlighting some very trailblazing people in the sickle cell community. And tonight's segment is Unapologetic, the voice of a warrior and mother. So it is with immense pleasure for me to introduce Wunmi, correct? Yes.
Yes.
Wunmi,
Thank you.
multicultural citizen and advocacy trailblazer in the sickle cell and rare disease communities. Excuse me, she's fueled by purpose and the pursuit of social inclusion. Her advocacy efforts focus on erasing the stigma of sickle cell disease through proactive and reactive engagement with the media. She is, excuse me, I'm sorry, she was diagnosed with the most severe sickle cell disease, SS, at 18 months of age. She then participated in a clinical trial at the National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute, where she received a stem cell transplant in 2019. Um, Miss Wunmi is also the founder of WBPR Agency, working
Mhm.
across diverse disciplines. She's also she launched the Diary of Sickle Cell Prodigy, which I am a big fan of. So there's a series giving audience a closer look into what a patient's life with or without sickle cell disease. So I appreciate you for coming on today.
Thank you for having me. This is such a pleasure. I think until people read my bio, it is when it hits me that like I've done things, but again, I feel like I'm a newbie within the advocacy space. But thank you so much for having me on your platform today.
No, no problem. And then, of course, I have to introduce this beauty. I love her to death. Miss Demetrius Nance. She is the mother of a sickle cell warrior. She's a certified community health worker, patient liaison program coordinator, and a pediatric institute. She has been an advocate for sickle cell disease for over 10 years. Her primary goal is to continue to educate people about sickle cell disease, and she is also part of Scott's Health and Equity Advisory Board. So I am so happy to have the both of you on here today. So thanks for joining me, Miss Nance.
Glad to be here, Miss Scott. Looking forward to all the work that you're going to help and make a difference in the lives of others. I am awesome and happy to be on this line tonight.
Yes. So as our audience knows, you guys are able to put your questions in the chat. We will answer them, questions or comments. This is a conversation amongst girlfriends. This is not an interview. We are just having a candid conversation about issues or topics that are not usually discussed. So I just want to jump right in. Miss Wumi, I am not too familiar with the excuse me, with the stem cell transplant, or at least having a lot of conversations with people who have went through.
Mm-hmm.
Could you kind of tell us about your journey a little bit?
Yeah, so I'm Nigerian, born and raised, came to the US at 16. And because I have HbSS, I think I've always struggled with frequent hospital admissions. And unfortunately, my story is really hard and difficult to talk about because I literally came on vacation, was diagnosed with an infection called Mycobacterium avium complex. And the doctors were like, it's going to be touch and go for 6 months. We don't actually know if you will make it because most people that have this infection tend to pass within a 6-month period. So I was like, okay, well then they were like, you need 5 different types of antibiotics. I was on it for a period of 6 months. I think I spent more time in hospital than outside the hospital. And that vacation ended up kind of spiraling into a near-death experience. And for me, I was on treatment for MAC for 24 months, so 2 years. That's how long it takes for the infection to clear out of your system. So when I wanted to dig more into a clinical trial, it came from a very desperate place of, I want to live all stones unturned if this is going to be the end for me. So then I was, because I am Nigerian, there's a lot of like health